With the movie blockbuster season upon us, it got me thinking, why is it that movies bomb? Or not even necessarily bomb, just underperform? Well, it depends on a lot of things. Maybe 5? I don't know, that's as many as I could think of. So let's get into this, starting with... Let's do a test. This is a test for you. Get ready. Hope you're prepared for this test I just made up off the top of my head. Okay, so this here is a pretty good horse. And this is a different horse that doesn't look like as good of a horse. Which horse is the best horse? It's actually this one, because the first horse is full of bees. It's a bloody bee-filled horse, mate. The very obvious point I'm trying to make here is that you don't want to hire an actor or a director who's the cinematic equivalent of a good-looking horse that's actually filled with bees. Studios occasionally might say back who they think is going to be the next big thing. And sometimes this pays off and you get yourself a Channing Tatum. But other times, you land yourself a Taylor Kitsch. Here's a list of actors that can arguably not carry a movie anymore or never really could. Bearing in mind, I'm not saying that these are bad actors, just not box office draws, unless they're part of a big franchise or a larger ensemble cast. Sam Worthington, Eddie Murphy, Adam Sandler, Katherine Heigl. Actually, both these guys here, both of them, terrible, no good. Johnny Depp, depending on hat. Jeremy Renner, Ryan Reynolds. As I said, this also applies to big name directors, or at least one specifically. Yeah, you know who you are. So I guess what I'm saying is, Taylor Kitsch is almost certainly, literally filled with bees. Now this argument doesn't specifically apply to westerns, though I guess it does at this point in cinematic history. Studios every now and then will roll the dice on an unpopular genre, and the result is A, it doesn't bring anything new to the table and no one sees it, or B, it does bring something new to the table, but nobody wants to see that thing at the moment because they think it's completely played out. Westerns is an example of a style that's fallen well out of favour. And with the exception of a few, including Django Unchained, we've gotten misfires like The Lone Ranger, Cowboys and Aliens, Jonah Hex, A Million Ways to Blah-Diddy. So unless you're Quentin Tarantino, which I'd hazard a bet you probably aren't, maybe lay off the westerns. Unless you are Quentin Tarantino, in which case, oh my god, I loved Inglourious Bastards, and every time I see you, I can't stop thinking about how big your head is. What is going on there? Look at it! I don't understand it. Bad marketing occurs for a number of reasons. Sometimes it can be because a studio just doesn't know how to sell something to an audience, or say it can be because they have no faith in a project, so they try to release it as quietly as possible, like a fart in an elevator, or Taylor Kitsch sneakily trying to get rid of his bees behind a dumpster just before he films his latest movie. It can also be because movie marketing can have people thinking, what the hell is this about? Which can be a good thing if you have a hook to get people into the movie, like Cloverfield or Train Monster. But with something like Tomorrowland, all people were given is what looks like a kid's movie, maybe? Some kind of future world or something, and every child's favourite actor, George Clooney. Now, I like and know who George Clooney is, but do you know who doesn't know who George Clooney is? Every kid ever. The premise of Tomorrowland was too vague for adults, plus they fill the movie with people that kids don't care about. So that's pretty much every single audience member completely ruled out. Word of mouth will sink a movie faster than you can say, wait, Adam Sandler's making a western. That's two things I said shouldn't be a thing. Often movies will open strong and then bad Twitter buzz and general word of mouth, which is apparently still the most damning form of communication, will ensure that a movie or franchise or whatever is dead. Two examples of this are Superman Returns and The Hulk. Now, neither of these lost money, but they were the last in their retrospective series. Superman Returns actually opened bigger and made more money than Batman Begins. But Batman Begins was so well received, in spite of people having endured the previous Batman film, that it was followed up with one of the biggest films of all time. And then one where people were like, magic knee brace? What? Basically, people saying to other people, I saw this movie and it was horrible, is a massive kick to a movie's cinematic balls. Like what happened with the Total Recall reboot, and the Wolfman reboot, and the Friday the 13th reboot. Psst, I've just made a point that's going to cleverly segue into my next point. Unoriginality is a double-edged sword, or something. Because Hollywood thrives on recycling ideas. It's their lifeblood. But every now and then, audiences will stand up and say, enough! We hate this! Speed 2, Die Hard 5, Blair Witch, Blair Harder, Red Dawn, Ghost Rider. Subtitle, yes, we made another Ghost Rider. Of course, sometimes studios will just make the same Transformers movie again and again, and nobody bats an eye. But every franchise, no matter how popular, has a breaking point, as demonstrated by The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Subtitle, seriously, somebody stop us. We can't stop. We're trapped in a hell of our own making. I don't know, man. There's no hard and fast rule for any of this. there are multiple exceptions to every one of these points that I've haphazardly made. All I know is this: if we do by some miracle get another Dredd movie, it's again not going to make any money. But it should, because Dredd was great. Did you see Dredd? You should go watch Dredd. Thanks everyone. Now if you liked this, maybe you like this video, great moments in bad comic book movies. Or even this one, 50 Jurassic Park facts. Also have a podcast that you might like. It's called The Weekly Planet and it comes out every Monday, courtesy of the terrific comicbookmovie.com. I'll link all that stuff I said below and at the end of this video. But what do you think is the #1 reason that movies bomb? Is it because they aren't very good? I probably should have included that as a point. Ah well, can't go back now. Well I can, but I'm not going to. In your face. Video I made. If you do have any thoughts though, please feel free to leave them below. Alright, thanks everyone. Take care.